stands at Manchester United at the moment. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. ठीक है, that's fine. As long as you had ठीक है, put them in your pocket in this one.
mounted on the first match. So you may see people climbing these ropes in a few minutes' time, be cutting the grass. They actually cut the grass every other day. They take that much grass indoors that way. But we'll talk about the playing surface later on in the tour. Now, we're in the famous Sir Alex Ferguson stand. This is no different other than size of anywhere around the stadium. Now, most of the seats in the stadium are that type you see at the side of it. And they pay in the region of £450 for the cheapest ticket, £1,000 for the dearest ticket. And every one of the season tickets is sold out. There is a waiting list of approximately 10 years. That's just to come to every game. But we also have some hospitality boxes where you see these windows. We have 150 hospitality rooms around the stadium where you can have a nice meal before the game, have a nice glass of wine with your meal. But you pay a little bit more money than the normal seats. To give you an idea of the prices, behind the goals there's some 6-seater boxes. 6 people will come every match, have a drink, have a meal, have snacks at half time, but they pay in the region of £50,000. Does anybody want money? Behind you, they are completely sold out. Now, the famous stands at Manchester United, at the moment, can you hear me okay at the back? The famous stand at Manchester United is this one, the Trafford. Spent 7.5 years, and he won many, many trophies. We'll show you the photograph of that later on in the tour. Where the Adidas sign is there, used to be a wooden building, and it had the alphabet at the top, A to Z. And under each letter was 6 squares. And at half time, the scores were put up from around the country. And in the programme you bought, you had the letter A, maybe Manchester City, playing Liverpool or Chelsea. The home team would be the first square, so they usually put 0 for Manchester City. For the other opposition, they put 3 or 4. That was the half-time scores as they were going round. And it's not a picture of painting at all. It's just pins and red thread. The red thread represents the textile which Manchester United directors have been in for many, many years. But the young girl did 4 of these. There's one here, one right at the far side and 2 on the upper level. And they're identical. But if you look closely, you'll not see any mark where the pens or the pins have been put in. Not a mark on there, and they are identical pictures. And they put here in this one especially to represent the boss's success. 38 lady trophies, the most successful manager in English football. Now some of these trophies he's won many, many times. But yes, what a fantastic manager here at Manchester United. This way. These spaces in between the seats, because this is where a wheelchair would go and the carer would occupy the seat during the match. Now, up to the start of last year, we had 104 places for wheelchairs, and that was on the platforms where you see manu.com. 104 spaces, 104 seats for the carers, and in them days, Manchester United was the first football league club and the only football league club to give any supporters free admission. We did it for our wheelchair guests, and the carer had to pay a small fee to come to the games. We also had 20 seats for the people who couldn't see the playing surface, the partially sighted and blind people. They would sit in this corner here, but before they sat down, we would give them input to listen to a commentary of the game. The aim was very similar to what you have in years now, again, for wheelchair guests. We now have over 250 places for them. So in this area is where our visiting supporters sit. This is where they're cheering and shouting and encouraging their teams to play. Every team we play, we give them 3,000 tickets to sell to their supporters. And as I say, that's where they come to cheer. But it's also where they cry at the end of the game when we beat them. Now, as I said, Manchester United are developing this stadium throughout the years. They've done the ability platform, but now we've come up with a standing section. In the corner over the smart quadrant is an area where the supporters now can stand up instead of being all seated. We were going to try it out for a few games, friendly games, but why can't they stand up now against the game, the friendly game compared to the league match? The standing section is over there. The singing section is over at this other section. Any questions now?
Standing section.
We don't know everything. Like I didn't want to wear Graham will jump in. It's fantastic to have two guys like that. Manchester United have a lot of history regarding this stadium. And one of the biggest parts of it is the original tunnel. We're going to see the original tunnel before we go to the main part of the tour, the Manchester United dressing room. We follow me through the famous Georgie Best, Johnny Kearney, David Beckham, Eric Cantona, but none more so, ladies and gents, than these lads on this photograph. The Busby Babes. The manager, Sir Matt Busby, was the first manager in football to put young lads into the team, teenagers. He got one young lad from Dudley in Birmingham, a young lad by the name of Duncan Edwards. For me, ladies and gents, I know all tour guides have different players. For me, this is the best player ever to play for Manchester United. I was fortunate to see him play. He played in the 50s. I watched him play many, many times. A great footballer. At 16, he was an England international. But sadly, he was one of the players involved in the Munich air crash. The plane was travelling back from the European Cup tie. They stopped at Munich airport to refuel, and while they were refueling the plane, the snow started to... That sad afternoon, we lost an entire football team because there were some of the players couldn't even kick a ball again after that. Yes, the babes. But Sir Matt Busby, he was also given the last.
We never seen some Bruno.
After the game for 4 minutes. This is what they ask them to do to stop them getting cramped, to stop them getting the acids in the legs. They go and stand in the ice bath, then they have a hot shower. before they go and have something to eat, a snack, and then they go and meet the family in the hospitality room we have upstairs. Now, these shirts you see on the wall have never been worn by the players. They're a different type of material. This is to show you exactly where the players were sitting for the last game. And the way they happen, just to give you an idea, it's always the goalkeepers at the front, and then the defence, the midfield players, and then the strikers. But on this side, we have the substitutes. Now, all apart from one who only played the last game. But this is the case. We have any visitors who want a nice photograph holding his shirt. Yes, right at the bottom, we have the TV screen, mainly Sky Sports or something of that nature. But if the boss wants to give them some information about the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition, yes, they can briefly show it here. But most of the work's been done at the training ground. On the TV screen, the tactics board about the game which is coming up on the Saturday or the Wednesday. To get all this at Carrington, this is briefly to entertain the players while they're in the dressing room here. Any questions regarding this area? Now, round about 5 minutes before kick-off, the referee will ring a bell from his little dressing room further down the passageway. And that's an indication the players have to come out of here. If they're not in the tunnel when the referee requires them, there is a fine imposed by the FA. So, ladies and gents, believe it or not, the referee has just rang that bell. Let's go. By the teams on match day. Manchester United will come from the home dressing room, the visitors when they come in. Manchester United will always stand on this side, the opposition on this side. And the reason for that, on this side of the stadium, is our famous Trafford end, our fanatical supporters. Yes, they always stand down here. Now, this tunnel is different than most tunnels around the country. A few years ago, there was an incident in Sheffield, Hillsborough, and you will get some nice photographs. Now, when the referee comes out, he'll always shake hands with the Manchester United captain first. Are you going to be United captain? Why not? Right, have a great day. I'm going to shake hands with this young lady here. She's the Liverpool captain. Have a bad game. Joking about that one. Yes, this is where the family sit on my chair. At the side of us here, we have 3 TV stations. The 2 outside ones are used by BBC, ITV, Sky Television, BT Television after the game. This is where they do the after the game discussions. But the middle one is our own TV station, MUTV. We was the first one to have its own television. We are now broadcasting to over 100 countries around the world. Every hour of the day, every day of the year. MUTV in the centre there. So, give it away, ladies and gentlemen. You never know, you could be on the television. Many a time you see it. That's why I always hold care when I'm coming down the tube. Let's get to the guys. Okay, just before we move from this area, most of you taking your photograph. You see on the floor there, OT 100. Manchester United came to this stadium in February. The very first game, I used to Jack from As I say, they came to this, and this is the tunnel they came down. But because it's the only part left of the original stadium, during the Second World War, the stadium was bombed, and there was nothing left apart from the walls, the white walls and the ceiling. It's approximately 2 foot thick concrete block all the way down. And they rebuilt the stadium around it. 1948-49 was returned to Manchester United. But in February of 2010, we put a time capsule below the ground here. The time capsule contains a lot of the history of Manchester United, programmes, the colours, but there's an important contract of one of our former players in there. Remember that young lad I spoke about, Duncan Edwards? His contract is below the ground there. And I know for a fact, his wages in them days was nothing compared to what the lads are on today. His wages for the season, when he was playing, was just £15 a week. Non-season was... That's no lie, I did play on them many times. Mud baths. But just look at it compared to this one. Just look at the pitch compared to this one. Now, a few years ago, roughly 7 years ago, a company approached Manchester United regarding a new development created. A company from Belgium came in, and they actually, and they still do it at the end of every season, shave all the grass off the pitch. All the grass is removed, and then they come in with some heavy machinery again and start knitting plastic below the ground. Strands and strands of plastic, around about 3 or 4 inches long, very minute in thickness. And they put all this plastic below the ground and then reseeded it. Once you reseeded it, within 2 weeks you could see the grass starting to appear. But it's like anything, when you have a grass surface, you get the root. The root will grip over the plastic and it makes it very hard wearing. So when players make a tackle, about a young lad who came to Manchester United and finished his career off at Manchester United. He's now a director, Sir Bobby Chow. That's where Sir Bobby and Norma, his wife, sits on match day. He has 4 seats so he can invite a couple of friends. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole's always down there, but his family will come and sit here. Right behind him is the boss himself, Sir Alex Ferguson, along with David Gill, one of the directors or the chief executive when Sir Alex first came to Manchester United. But that famous man, Sir Matt Busby, that's where he used to sit when he was not the manager. That's where he sat with his wife. And in them days he only had the one for the manager and his family. But recently his son and daughter passed away, Sandy and Sheena Busby. So these seats are always vacant on match days. They're always there if anybody wants to treat me and give me a bit of money for them. No, nobody can ever use those seats on match day, other than a relation of Sir Matt Busby. Can you see the names? Some of them, you've got the Lord Mayor of Manchester, you've got chief executives, you've got directors, and at the back, are you going to sell them brains? It's the glazier, in the back row. Any player who's not involved in the game may be injured, they will come and sit in these seats over here. These other seats are for the visiting directors. Gareth Southgate, he always sits over here when he comes to watch our games, looking at the players, but also any visiting manager will sit over at the other side.
Who is actually related to the Liverpool fullback, Alexander Arnold.
Okay, we're good. On the right over there, if you just come over this way in a second, you see all those grey seats? That's where the press do the work while the game's in progress. Under each one of those canopies is a small television. Yes, they can watch action replays on it. That's where they do the report during the game. We're now going to go into the press room where they do the report or do the talk after the game. Just follow. Have a cup of tea, biscuits, waiting for the managers. When the managers arrive, you come down the passageway, the manager will always sit in this seat, but it will always be the visiting manager first. He will sit here, maybe one of his coaches, and this side you will always have a press officer. The press officer is here to make sure that the press will only ask questions about the game which is just taken place. If they start to ask about transfers, whether Cristiano Ronaldo is coming to Manchester United or to Manchester City, or if Daniel James is leaving immediately, and the manager would have to go back down to the dressing room. Our manager comes in second, and it's usually the same type of questions that are asked. How did we win the game against a team who was by Sir Alex Ferguson when he signed the player? This is where Sir Alex signed the likes of Dion Dublin. You all know that name, don't you? If you don't know him, watch BBC on a Monday morning, Tuesday morning, right through the week, Holmes under the hammer. He's selling homes now, Dion Dublin. But he was a fantastic striker. He signed his contract here, but sadly, he had an injury in his first game for Manchester United, and we had to go looking for another player, another striker. And that's when we found the famous Frenchman, Eric Cantona. Yeah, Eric sat in this seat, signing his contract. Roy Keane, Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, Dwight York, they all signed for Manchester United here. Ollie himself, he signed his contract as a player.
United in the lead. Watch this fantastic goal. Bobby Johnson making it 4-1. Manchester United had well and truly done. They were supreme on the championship.
As soon as the match was won, everyone went straight to the winner. Because he was the one that wanted it happened about the same. And I think then everybody could really say, you know, that was something for the lives that they had in the first attempt.
Jordan, Sheppy, Brennan, Gunn, Ferran, Brooks, Styles, Best, Gibbs, Sadler and Asda. 11 names that together spell greatness.
Rebuild, only rebuild, mission was almost constant. His only line. The script was perfect.
When we won the championship 56, I said, no, I don't was doing the year. I felt very strong about it at the time. I thought, oh, this is new, a new world, a new avenue to venture. We need to press the thunder.
And the second came our free kick. Taylor doing the rest. Ian Berry made the third, and Manchester was set for the semi-final.
There's a feeling that we were as good as anybody around in the world. And then suddenly the whole thing has gone. And all the future suddenly, you know, is not as certain as we all thought it was going to be.
In times of great tragedy, a family closes its ranks. Today, the huge soccer family here in Manchester and throughout the country is united in sorrow following the Munich plane disaster.
Salam, we would not have felt as though we really resurrected Manchester United as a football club until the European Cup. And of course the 60s, when George and Dennis were at the peak, we were starting to win the titles and we were starting to have a go at winning the European Cup.
Manchester United versus Real Madrid. You're the most successful first leg of the European Cup semi-final.
We beat Real Madrid in the semi-final. We've never beaten Real Madrid before.
3-1 down at half-time. It looked as if we were out. Fortunately, Real Madrid thought they'd get it wrong. They started to allow us the space to play. Anyone who allows space to Manchester United to play, that's what we did. We managed to force an own goal, then David Salam and deflection and went in. I just decided to come from the back. I couldn't come out of the rock, so I went on the job from the back. And all I had to do was just look at it in the opposite corner and put us through for the final.
What sort of information have you had on people much about this? Because it's not something that we wish to go down as it comes after yesterday. I think we wish to go
First of all, lots of luck on your way to Wembley this time, and what about the condition of the team?
very good.
Visitors on the 12 o'clock start control. Please control 1 inside the museum. All visitors to level 1.